Seattle Seahawks are off to the Motor City with a shot at 4-0. Would be the first time since 2020 they start that well.
There comes Phillips, there goes Smith, and downfield he goes, caught! DK Metcalf, what a grab! First and goal.
This week's test, their toughest yet. Detroit Lions back home after a big road win.
No more timeouts for Arizona. Goff is going to keep and look like Kyler Murray sliding around the 40 and getting the first down knockout punch.
Looked like more like Bobby Boucher running that football, but at least he got that first down.
These two teams know each other well for not playing in the same division. This is the fourth time in 3 years they'll lock up. 12s have probably heard a lot of naysayers this week yap about their 3-0 record being built on the back of some Billy Madison dodgeball type showings.
Thompson's not able to hang on to that snap, and then he loses control of the ball. Very fortunate to get it back.
Miami with Skyler needed OT to beat New England. Denver week 1, who just beat Tampa Bay, who beat Detroit, and New England had beat Cincinnati. Am I wrong? No game preview guy, you're just an as I was saying. Detroit, though, is at least average Joe's or Globo Gym Masters level competition. They get Geno Smith this week, 289 yards, 8.5 an attempt, TD last week. That was the good.
First and 10, up the middle it goes.
Lions not dealing with a guy who comes in blazing either. He threw 2 INTs, a sub-90 rate as a result, only has 3 TD passes on the season. His O-line part of the problem. Smith got sacked 3 more times versus Miami, pressured over 40% of the time. Snoop Dogg fatty territory.
First and 10. They come by with Sealer, and he got him. Another big play.
This could be a problem since he has to try and dodge Aiden Hutchinson this week. Maybe they throw a lot of wrenches at Smith in practice. Hutch with another sack last week, bringing his total to 6.5 on the year. No one else in the league has more.
Murray in trouble. Swelling up at the 40, and Hutchinson gets one.
Geno also up against a secondary that's feeling good. Detroit held Kyler Murray, who blew up the week before, to 217 yards, 6.1 yards per attempt, only 1 touchdown, picked him off, held him to a sub-80 rate.
Murray with time for the end zone, and intercepted, waiting for it was Kirby Joseph.
They did give up 64 yards and a TD to Marvin Harrison Jr. on 11 targets. They gave up 64 yards to Michael Wilson on 9. For the record, Detroit cornerback Carlton Davis rating allowed last week over 150. Gave up a score, 5 catches on 5 targets, so he's sort of the Waldo right now. Rebounding against Seattle's wide receiver trio won't be easy either. DK Metcalf, 71-yard house call versus Miami, 104 yards.
DK Metcalf, that's 6. What a throw!
Jackson Smith and Jigba, 39 yards last week. Tyler Lockett, 46. Tight end Noah Fant was their number 2. 6 catches, 60 yards.
Caught Fant. Slips by Kohu. And finally brought down by Brooks.
Lions secondary dealt with a good tight end last week, held Trey McBride to 25 yards. Also limited running back James Conner to 8 receiving yards and just 17 rush yards, stuffed him to 1.9 a run, and he had looked good prior to meeting them.
Swarming defense from the Lions on James Conner.
Rush defense will be front and center when Detroit has the ball. David Montgomery comes in off another good game. 106 yards, 4.6 a carry, painted the zone Honolulu blue.
Will bounce out of the line. Look at that. Pick up 9 and then more.
Just keep going, baby.
Right, he talk about a surf. He was riding the surf of Lion teammates.
He's half the problem if you're a Seattle defender. Jahmyr Gibbs went for 83 rush yards, 5.2 yards per run, and he's so good he can rack up 20 yards receiving and score without catching a pass.
As Goff hits St. Brown, who flips it to Jahmyr Gibbs. And Gibbs is in the end zone for a Lions touchdown.
I get it, it's a lateral, but I still love seeing 0 receptions, 20 receiving yards. Those 20 yards in Jared Goff's stat line, the TD pass too. He finished with a 113.6 rate last week, 2 touchdowns, nice 8.7 an attempt.
Goff just on-time precision. He sees the blitzers.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mr. Lateral, 75 yards and a score. He's the A-lister.
On a 3rd and goal, Goff is looking, throwing, catch made into the end zone, and that's a Lions touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Jamison Williams, just 9 yards, 3 targets. Tight end Sam Laporta, 36 yards.
Goff throwing, open, catch made, Laporta.
Goff did get sacked a couple times, only 23 pass attempts, only one blamed on their O-line. Seattle's pass rush will test them. They come off a 6-bag shopping trip. Derek Hall with 2, Boye Mafe with 1. He has 1 in each game.
Left tackle moved. And that was Lamb, and here they come, an avalanche.
Seattle secondary, no issues with Miami's passing attack, no receiver with more than 40 yards, held Miami's quarterback duo under 200 yards, just 5.8 per attempt, no touchdowns.
Looking for blocks, and then chased down and brought down by Mike Morris.
They held Miami to 3 points, which is what they were expected to do, so they did their job. No problems with running back Devon Achane either, 30 yards, 2.7 a carry. Lions 12-5 versus Seattle all-time. Detroit thumped Seattle the very first time they met, 41-14 in 1976. Greg Landry versus Jim Zorn. Landry 3 TD passes, Zorn 6 INTs. Look, they were an expansion team. It was like Billy thumping those kids. And look at that, came all the way back around.